Guys, I hope you're having a beautiful day today, and I hope you're ready for some Reddit stories. I'm so excited. I've got 10 stories to read today. I think that's going to be sort of the standard for every episode. I never know how long I've been filming for, so I go off how many stories that I read. And yeah, with the 40-minute episodes, it turns out to be about 10 different stories. So that's what we're going to do today, and I hope you're excited. The first one that we're going to read says, "Am I the a-hole? My 47 male son, 28 male, cheated on his pregnant wife, 25 female, and now I'd rather support her than him. Yeah, and I don't blame you, OP. That is so unbelievably scummy. Me and my wife, 48 female, have 3 different kids, and this one is the oldest. Admittedly, we did make some mistakes with him. He was unplanned and we had him very young. We were both balancing school and work, and he was always troubled. I thought that we'd done some work and mended some bridges, and that he got over the issues of his younger days. When he got married, my wife and I were so happy, and we thought that she was wonderful and that she brought out the best in him. And when they told us that she was pregnant earlier in the year, we were so happy. I can't wait to be a grandpa. Well, the pregnancy's now at risk, and my daughter-in-law had to go on bed rest. She can barely get out of bed at all, and me and my wife and his 2 sisters, 21 and 17, have been doing our best to help her since she doesn't really have anybody. With her bedridden, we really thought that it was my son's chance to step up. Well, he didn't. Instead, he went and cheated. Oh my god. Daughter-in-law called my wife a few weeks ago, and she was really upset. We were worried something was wrong with her pregnancy, and we rushed over. Well, she showed us his tablet. It was connected to his WhatsApp, and he had some very explicit conversations with a woman. And not only that, he was talking crap about his wife, how she was faking her pregnancy being at risk, how only that other woman understood him, and how sexy she was compared to his wife, who was bloated and had stretch marks, and that he would totally leave his wife for her once she was done with her pregnancy, and he made sure it wasn't his, and how she was entitled and expecting her to wait on her hand and foot, and his family were giving him the stink eye and kept on lecturing him. So not only did he start spending more time out of the house, leaving us to care for his wife, he actually went out and cheated on her, and was also bad-mouthing her and us as we did it. Again, he cheated on his pregnant, bedridden wife instead of taking care of her. I'm getting so angry even typing this. Yeah, I don't know how you can even talk to him after this, OP. This is making me angry reading it. He thinks that his pregnant wife is entitled because she wants him to help her out. Do we read about worse people in every single episode? It seems like it. So we helped our daughter-in-law pack her bag, and we took her over to our house, where we decided that we'd wait for him to check on her, except he never did. For 2 days, she was basically staying at our house. My wife took a day off work, and my youngest stayed home from school, and they've been basically supporting her the best they can since. When it had been 2 days and he still hadn't checked in, I went over to his apartment, where I found him chilling, playing his PlayStation 5. I went ballistic. I told him I couldn't believe what a piece of crap I raised, and that this is no way to treat your family. He kinda shrugged and said that we've always treated him like crap anyway, so this was all our fault. Wow, the audacity. Another cheater not taking responsibility, and she was cheating on him first. I asked how did he know, and did he have any proof? He said some BS about her not wanting to quit her job, and some guy from her work looking at her funny from some work event or some crap, and there couldn't possibly be any reason for her not to want to quit her job and stay at home if she wasn't banging that guy, so why would he care about her? I told him those were excuses, and if he really thought that he'd be pawning off taking care of her onto us, to which he said he was totally right to, because we always treated him like crap and he didn't owe us explanations, I told him to get and things got even more heated after that. Ended up with me smashing his PlayStation 5 against a wall, and him kicking the side mirror of my car and breaking it off as I was driving off. By the time I got home, my wife was crying because he'd already called her and yelled at her, and even falsely and stupidly said that we kidnapped his wife. And also he was demanding that we pay for his PlayStation 5, which is absolutely insane to me, because we bought him that for his birthday 2 years ago. She was very distraught, and it took me a long time to calm her down. The next day, my own mother called me because my son reached out to her, and she started admonishing me for not standing up for my son, because blood is thicker than water. I told her she can also get because of her own drama from my childhood, and that's some nerve that she got calling me out, but also it's nothing new that she'd justify and excuse horrible behavior like she did with my dad and my stepdad. She echoed my son's accusation, and I told her that that was very rich coming from her, because she and my dad and their cheating is exactly why I know how much crap that can cause to a family, and she told me it was in the past. I reiterated she can get because it wasn't in the past, it was literally now. My My son was, as we speak, cheating on his wife, and she was in this very moment giving me crap about it and excusing his behavior. She kept on arguing with me until I got frustrated and hung up. In the week since, my daughter-in-law has basically been inconsolable. She's been staying with us, and me and my wife and my youngest daughter have been doing our best to support her through all of this. We'd sit with her and watch TV or talk or have family meals, and we're doing our best, but she's clearly devastated. He's been sending her threats of divorce. How the hell is that a threat? Bro, nobody's gonna want to stay with you. Divorce is not a threat of how she's gonna remain alone and unloved and a single mum and won't have anybody if she doesn't come back. Yeah, that's not a threat. All of that would be better than being with this guy, and it got so bad that we told her just to block him. And then when he tried that crap with my wife, she told him the way that he was acting, he was going to be the one who's going to remain alone. Yeah, 100%. We've told our daughter-in-law that we'll stick by her no matter what. And as far as we're concerned, she's family and we love her. She seems grateful, but still is very sad, understandably. My son's been pestering us too, growing more and more aggressive until everybody just blocked him on everything. My mum keeps on telling me that blood is thicker than water. But you know what? That. Maybe we weren't the best parents to my son, as we did leave him with my mum a lot, as we had to go to school and work, and maybe he felt neglected, and maybe that was why he was acting out, but still I can't excuse treating the woman that he supposedly loved this way, making up what I'm pretty sure are total lies about her, and not even trying to apologize or making any sort of amends. So blood, I choose the daughter-in-law who's been nothing but loving and wonderful to us, and that needs us now over the son who's been difficult, and who's turned into the worst piece of adult. My son's a piece of and I think I might hate him. OP, I don't know how you couldn't hate him. Of course you do. Maybe it's my fault. Maybe I should have been different when he was a child. But this is how things are right now, and I want nothing to do with him. So here I am looking for validation in line. Am I the a-hole? Does my mum have a point? No, you're not the a-hole, OP. And of course you feel the way that you do. Absolutely vile behavior from your son. Vile, disgusting behavior. He's an adult and he's responsible for his actions. Like, I'm sure he doesn't think that he is, but he is. Yeah, like this comment says, not the a-hole. I'm sorry that your son turned out the way that he has. And maybe you and your wife did make some mistakes when you were raising him. But he's an adult and he's responsible for his own a-holery. He sounds like a horrible human being. And until he reforms, if he ever does, which I'm doubtful, then all of you deserve the peace that his absence from your life is gonna bring. Yeah, completely. It doesn't get much more awful than this. The comment above that says, at this juncture, my response will be what's the best possible situation for my future grandchild, and what do I need to do to make sure that that child is secure and loved and supported? Yeah, for sure, and that definitely should be the priority. The top comment says, not the a-hole. Your son is looking for any excuse not to be a father. Yeah, actually revolting, and I can't believe we're starting the episode this way. Like, it doesn't really get worse than this. Cheating on your bedridden pregnant wife. And not just that, but all the awful stuff that he was saying about her. That is so beyond messed up. Yeah, I feel like this one's pretty simple. Like, if you're gonna be a crap person, that's gonna have consequences. And the guilt tripping on his side too, and saying to his wife that she's gonna be alone and sad or whatever. Like, oh no, I don't need to be with a cheater. What a shame. Like, I know it's devastating for the wife, but yeah, ultimately you don't want to be with this sort of person anyway. Nobody should be with somebody who treats them like this and is a cheater. This comment says, oh my god, your son's straight up trash for what he did. You're totally right to support your daughter-in-law. She's the one who needs you right now, not him. Like, he cheated on her while she's pregnant and bedridden. That's messed up. Don't let anybody guilt trip you into taking his side, especially not your mum. Blood might be thicker than water, but your daughter-in-law is family too, and she deserves better. You're doing the right thing. Yeah, that was an unbelievable way to start the episode, but we're going to move on to post number 2 now. This one is also on Am I the A-hole? Am I the A-hole for threatening to divorce my wife if she didn't become a proper homemaker in the next month? My wife and I have been married for 4 years. I'm 33 male and she's 32. Her name is Steph. Steph is a stay-at-home wife, and since we got married, she's been incredibly inconsistent with household labor. I work a physically demanding job, and it would really help if Steph could at least cook dinner more than once or twice a week. Instead, she sits at the dinner table hunched over her phone for hours a day. She's completely addicted to it, but she refuses to even have a conversation about it. Now, about twice a year, I have an opportunity to visit a foreign country for work. The nature of the work is to supervise construction and instruct the workers there. The compensation for these trips is always fantastic, and Steph is appreciative when I go because I bring home a pretty fat paycheck after. Now, 3 weeks ago, I was about to depart for 2 weeks weeks on such a trip. At around 10 a.m. I texted Steph and I said that time was tight, but I'd be home at 12:30 to pick up my luggage. I asked her if she could make me something for lunch and she agreed to do so. I emphasized that I had about 10 minutes to stuff my face and then get to the airport. At 11 a.m. I texted her again saying that I'd be home as planned at 12:30. Again, she said, okay. At 12, I texted her saying that I was leaving. I walked in the door at exactly 12:30, only to find her sitting at the dinner table hunched over her phone. When I walked in, she gave me this bewildered look. She had done literally nothing. Nothing was cooking. Steph stood up in a panic and said that she'd start making me lunch, but I told her that it was pointless. She sheepishly sort of apologized and I responded, don't say sorry, just be less useless. This made her very upset. I just picked up my luggage and I left and I went to the airport. I did manage to pick up some food at the airport, but I really would have liked a home-cooked meal before eating out every day for 2 weeks. I got home last week and Steph was still angry. She said that what I said to her was over the top. I asked her what she'd been doing for those 2 weeks, and she insisted that she was super busy. See Instagram and Netflix. I gave her an ultimatum that she had 1 month until the 10th of January to get her crap together and be a proper homemaker. I told her that if she couldn't, that I was going to divorce her. Steph was super upset, and for the past week she's been sulking. See Instagram and Netflix. She told her family about it and her mother basically blamed me for Steph's lack of direction in life. I know it's nonsense that a 32-year-old woman needs to have her hand held to do anything, but was I being ridiculous with my ultimatum? Wow, yeah, this one's concerning. Like, yeah, that's really bad. She's not doing anything, but also like there are reasons for this. Is your communication good, OP? Like, did you agree to do this together? Did she want to be a stay-at-home wife? Like, if this is the issue that OP's talking about here with the ultimatum, there's a whole bunch of other foundational issues below this. You know, like OP, you can figure this issue out, but there's a whole bunch of other issues. The phone addiction, the lack of direction. Is she depressed? Or like, what's going on? Is there a lot of communication between you guys? Like, all the comments said not the a-hole and all that sort of stuff. And OP is obviously super frustrated and all that sort of stuff too. But I didn't mention enough how a-holey it is that he said that to his wife. Like, yeah, I know you're angry, but that's not how you should talk to your partner. And there's also obvious communication issues here. Like, even when I was watching this back when I was editing, like OP and his wife obviously have a whole bunch of issues that aren't talked about here. There's so much missing information. Obviously still not okay that the wife is doing nothing. But yeah, I don't know. I feel like there's so much more going on behind the scenes of this post. And it doesn't really seem like as simple as like, oh, you're in the wrong and you're in the right. It's not really as black and white as that, I don't feel like. Like, there's issues going on here. So yeah, I don't know if that makes it everybody sucks or it's still not the a-hole. Don't know if that's even really the point. But yeah, I felt like I should really stress that it wasn't cool what he said either. And yeah, they need counseling ASAP. The top comment says, why can't she go back to work? Why does she have to stay home? I think it's fair to say that if you're not going to do the duties of a stay-at-home wife, then you need to work. Yeah, and there's no information on that and there's no comments. The one below that says, I came into this thinking that you were going to be the a-hole, that maybe you're complaining about how she cooks and cleans or something, but reading that she only makes 2 meals a week and didn't even bother preparing you one last lunch on your day in town when you specifically asked her to, and gave her a heads up twice that you were on your way home, not the a-hole. The fact that she was glued to her phone makes this even worse, because phones have clocks on them, and if she knows that she loses track of time easily, she could have set an alarm for 12 and then had something ready for you easily by 12:30. Yeah, like there are so many underlying issues here. The comment below that says not the a-hole, like she's 32 and not even trying. If she's a stay-at-home wife, keeping the house together is literally her role. You're out there working hard and she can't even make lunch when you're flying out? That's wild. The ultimatum makes sense if she isn't pulling her weight. Marriage is a partnership, not you doing everything. Yeah, but why is she not doing anything? Like, there's definitely a reason for this. This comment says you're not the a-hole, but I do have a few concerns here. Did you both agree to her being a stay-at-home wife? Even if she did agree, she could be feeling isolated and depressed. But even more so if she reluctantly entered into this role, if she is feeling isolated and depressed, she could be trying to fight her feelings of isolation with social media and distracting herself from isolation and depression with Netflix. Yeah, I'm definitely getting that vibe too. When she took on the role of stay-at-home wife, did you sit down and have a discussion about the expectations that both of you had? Have you sat down together since and had a relationship check-in where you discuss what you like about your relationship, where you'd like to see more effort, things that your partner is doing or not doing that may be bothering you? Regular check-ins are important to a healthy marriage. If you haven't done any of this and or would like the marriage to work, I recommend seeing a marriage counselor. They're going to be be able to help you navigate the difficult conversations that need to happen and help with the communication. Yeah, for sure. I'm getting the isolated sort of vibe out of this too, especially with the distracting yourself with social media and Netflix and all that sort of stuff. Like, obviously there's something going on. Also, like what you said, OP, is definitely harsh, but also you can pretty clearly see why you're frustrated. But yeah, there needs to be communication and yeah, probably counseling. There's a lot of information that's missing here and obviously some pretty major issues that need to be sorted out. Yeah, okay, that was another concerning story that we just read. The next one that we're going to read is on Today I Messed Up. I hope you're ready, guys. Today I messed up by trying to gift my boyfriend some sweet undies and subsequently spoiling his surprise proposal plans. About 3 weeks ago, I began preparations to get a nice gift for my boyfriend, who I'll call Ray, to celebrate 4 years of dating. We live in a terribly humid place and all summer he's been complaining about how sweaty his ass and balls get whenever he goes outside. He's been buying the same brand of cotton boxer briefs since we started dating. I thought it'd be a nice homage to our great relationship, a great way to take care of the butt I get to squeeze on the regular, to splurge on a male subscription service to some silky micromodal underwear. They are pricey, but they're known for being wicking and cooling and overall very nice on the buns and balls. I ordered the first pair to present to him on the day of, and I set up for a pair to be delivered every month thereafter. I used his email on the sign up so I could simply pass on the account to him after the first pair came. That way he'd have full power to pick his colors and style every month, and easily return any if there was any unexpected problems. One small problem: the receipt for this whole transaction is now resting in his email where he can find it and spoil my surprise. I sneakily hacked into his computer while he was out, by which I mean I entered the password that he shared with me, because he foolishly trusted me not to wreck his crap, and I opened up his email. I simply archived the existing emails and I set it up so that future emails from the company would be auto-marked as read and archived as well. I know how to do this because I'm a brilliant hacker. I googled it while carefully double-checking my devious work just to ensure that nothing slipped through the cracks. A new email pinged on arrival and caught my attention. A shipping confirmation for an engagement ring. I immediately noped off his computer and of course I didn't open the email, but the damage is done. The secret's out. My heart fell right through my butt, you guys. I actually died and now I'm a ghost writing this. I probably should have pretended that I never saw that and taken the secret to my grave, but I was too pumped and I couldn't keep it in. Within the hour, I broke down and I called Ray to sheepishly confess what I'd done. He wasn't angry, but sadly disappointed that I spoilt the surprise. Here's the kicker: he didn't actually propose yet and still intends to make a thing out of it. My punishment for snooping is that the suspense is killing me. I've been forbidden from telling anybody that we're getting engaged until it's officiated. Every time that we go out, the suspense that this may be the night drives me crazy. A romantic date at the beach the other evening ended with me saying, "Damn, I thought for sure that we were getting engaged tonight." "Why would you think I'm gonna propose to you?" he said. "That sounds like something that you wouldn't even know about because I'd keep it secret in my personal email." Now he started intermittently faking me out. The other day he walked into the kitchen and presented me with a little hinged box, which turned out to contain a tie pin from his work. He keeps on getting down on one knee and looking up at me and saying, "Gotta tie this shoe." The emotional distress of keeping this exciting secret within me, not sharing it with co-workers or family or anybody, is maddening. Every false start sends my heart right back into my butt. One more thing too, I somehow f***ed up the email settings. The shipping confirmation for the underwear didn't get archived on arrival, and he saw it within a few hours, so that surprise got spoiled too. Turns out that I'm not a master hacker, and my attempts only have brought woe into this house. I guess it's not all bad. He reports that the pair of boxer briefs that arrived are very nice to wear, and I do indeed enjoy squeezing his buns in them. If we ever do actually get married, it'll be nice to be hitched to a guy with sweet silky buns and balls. Yeah, the top comment: I love every part of this. Yes, same. I love reading the Today I Messed Up stories. They're always such a roller coaster ride. They're either heart-wrenching or they're hilarious or they're like super dramatic and super epic. That was so fun to read. That's so cute, and it sounds like such a cute relationship too. Like, what an adorable couple. I love how he's teasing you and faking proposing and stuff. That's so funny. Like, "Oh, sorry, gotta tie my shoe again." I feel like we could have read an Am I the A-hole post that would have been like this, except like the person would have taken it super horribly and been so upset and it would have ended in divorce. But in this situation, he handled this so well. Instead of being super upset about it, he turned it into something funny. All of that is so cute. Okay, moving on to post number 4, and this one is back on Am I the A-hole? I hope you guys enjoy. Am I the a-hole for telling my husband that I won't cook dinner every night because I also work full-time? I, 30 female, have been married to my husband Tom, 32 male, for 4 years. We both work full-time jobs. He works in IT and I work in marketing. Despite us having similar work hours, I've somehow ended up being the one who cooks dinner every single night. At first I didn't mind because I enjoy cooking, but over time it's become exhausting. Some days I come home after a long day and I just want to relax. Meanwhile, Tom comes home, sits on the couch couch and waits for dinner to be served. He never offers to help with cooking or cleaning up after. Oh, yeah, that's not good. Last night I told Tom that I'm done being the only one responsible for cooking dinner. I suggested that we split the responsibility. Either he cooks a few nights a week, we take turns, or we order takeout sometimes. Tom got defensive and said it's not a big deal since I'm better at cooking anyway, and that it's something I've always done. Yeah, that's not the best reaction, Tom. He also said that he's too tired after work and doesn't see why this needs to change. Yeah, wow, that's not good either. I got frustrated and I told him it's unfair to expect me to do everything when we both work. Now he's upset saying that I'm overreacting and making a big deal out of something small. It's not something small though if it's all the time. He even told a couple of his friends who are siding with him saying that it's just dinner. Yeah, but it's not just dinner when it's every single night. So am I the a-hole for telling my husband that I won't cook dinner every night because I also work full time? This comment says, I advise against having kids with this man. Yeah, he should have been like, oh yeah, of course, I'll help out when I can. Or yeah, we'll work out a sort of schedule. I'll do it on these days and you do it on these days. He did not react well to this. Yeah, like this comment says, he never offers to clean up after. You've got to be kidding me. If he wants dinner, he has to do the cleanup. What are you doing with this big baby? Tell him to get off his lazy ass and cook and clean 3 to 4 days a week or it's over. Yeah, I feel like he should be reading this post, OP. Like, man, no. You're not in the right here, dude. You're both working full time. You need to make it as equal as you possibly can, especially when your partner is expressing to you that they're sick of it. Yeah, like this comment says too, not the a-hole. If it's a small deal and it's just dinner, he can do it himself or order takeout. Yeah, that's such a good point. He knows that it's not just dinner because otherwise he'd be doing it. He knows that it's a pain and he sure as hell knows that he wouldn't want to do it every day. Yeah, because if he thought that it wasn't a big deal, he'd do it himself. No, you're definitely not the a-hole, OP. That's so frustrating. Yeah, like this comment says too. What your husband means is that he views it as women's work. I bet he doesn't do housework either because that's women's work. Just know that if you have kids, it'll be all on you because it's women's work. Yeah, and those sorts of people don't make very good partners. You see guys like this everywhere. Like, oh, nah, I'm the guy. Like, I just get to sit around and do nothing. And guess what? It always ends in divorce, doesn't it? Like, this attitude sucks, OP, and you're so not in the wrong. He needs to support you here, OP. And if he doesn't, I feel like there should be consequences. This sort of stuff is so unfair on your partner. It goes back to that same thing that we always talk about, where like as long as the couple is happy, nothing else matters. You know, like in this situation, if OP loved to make dinner every single night and that made them happy, and they both agreed on that situation and everybody was happy, that'd be completely fine. But OP's not happy. OP is sick of it. OP's frustrated. In that situation, something needs to change. OP and Tom need to come to something that they both agree on, which by the sounds of it is him doing a lot more cooking, making it a fair situation. And yeah, they need to do that so that they're both happy. You are so not the a-hole, OP. Am I the a-hole for ruining my boyfriend's birthday dinner because I didn't accept to pay for everybody? I, 20 female, have been dating my boyfriend Ryan, 21 male, for about a year. For his birthday this year, I wanted to do something special, so I told him that I'd take him out to a nice dinner, just the two of us, and I'd cover the bill. He was super excited and agreed. So I made a reservation at a nice restaurant, I put on a nice dress, and I was so excited to see his reaction. When I got there, I was surprised to see that Ryan had invited his best friend, who also arrived with his girlfriend. He hadn't mentioned anything about them coming. I was caught off guard, but I thought, why not have a nice couple dinner? The whole time, his best friend and his girlfriend ordered a ton of appetizers and multiple drinks each. I started panicking a little because I realized this bill was going to be way more than I planned for. Towards the end, Ryan leaned over and said, "Don't forget you said you'd cover it." Oh, the audacity. Ryan, what are you doing? I told him I agreed to pay for his dinner because of his birthday and not for another couple. I didn't even know they were coming. He said it's rude to invite people to dinner and not pay for them. It's also rude to invite them and not even tell your partner expecting them to pay for them. Ryan is so out of line. At this point, I already thought, what the what's wrong with you? And I told him it's ruder to invite people to a dinner that somebody else is paying for without even telling them first. Yeah, OP. I already had the feeling to explode out of anger, so I just went quiet and I waited for the waiter to finally pay. When the check came, I paid for my meal and his, and I told his buddy that he should cover the bill for himself and his girlfriend. They both looked at me as if I'd insulted them in some way, saying that I embarrassed them in front of the server. In addition to that, Ryan even called me cheap and said that I ruined his birthday. Dump him immediately, OP. All this happened last Saturday, and since then he's been giving me the cold shoulder. Oh, the audacity. And just answered my messages with insulting me for embarrassing him in front of his friend. Oh, you are embarrassing, Ryan. Now I'm thinking about breaking up because he's not talking to me since 1 week, even though I wanted to apologize. Maybe some of you have got some advice for me. Yeah, I do. Break up with him today. What a joke. What are you doing, Ryan? Has absolutely no right to get upset at you. He's treating you like garbage and saying that you ruined his birthday. He's out of his mind. The top comment says, I wish you hadn't have paid and you just left, or just paid for your own food and left. He's using you. He's a nasty freeloading user. Now he's trying to guilt you into thinking that you should have paid for his bloody friends. You've got to be kidding me. Do not see him again. He's not a good person. He's a head. Tell him that. You deserve so much better. You'll meet better. Don't settle for head. Could not agree more. The only embarrassing people here are Ryan and his friends. You didn't do anything, OP. The comment below that says don't apologize and break up with him. It's not going to get any better from now on. Not the a-hole. Yeah, that's ridiculous on his part. Like, oh, I'm going to be crappy to my partner and then I'm going to guilt trip them and then I'm going to blame them. Yeah, you can do better, OP. And also imagine calling your partner cheap after they just paid for your dinner. Oh, sorry that I also didn't want to pay for your freeloading friends that you didn't even tell me that were going to show up. Yeah, like this comment said, older person who's eaten out for many, many meals with friends and without. What your boyfriend did was 100% wrong and very rude. His friends are just as bad or worse. Not the a-hole, and you really should break up. Trust me, if the young man likes you, he wouldn't treat you like this. Oh, these ones are so infuriating. Like, the audacity of it is unbelievable. Like, bro, you're giving OP the cold shoulder now. Yeah, you're about to be single, dude. Like, what is he even thinking? I can't stand it when somebody is so obviously in the wrong, but they act like they're not, and they've got the gall to treat their partner like this. Like, dude, you've got no idea. You don't even realize how bad you're being. No, not the a-hole, OP, and of course break up. Okay, moving on to post number 6. Also, I love these intermissions with the cats, and you guys seem to enjoy them too, and I really appreciate all your nice comments about them. You get to see the cats more. That's amazing. Okay, the next one is called, Am I the a-hole for refusing to share my inheritance with my stepsister, even though my family is pressuring me? 25 female. I, 25 female, recently lost my dad, 58 male. Growing up, my parents divorced when I was 6, and he remarried soon after. His new wife, Rachel, 50 female, had a daughter, Sophie, 22 female, and they later had 2 kids together. I always felt like I was on the sidelines of his new family, but I still visited for holidays. When my dad passed away, his will left me a cabin that we fixed up together when I was little, and some money. He also left Rachel, Sophie, and my half-siblings other assets and college funds. I didn't expect it, but my dad clearly stated the cabin and funds were for me because of the bond that we shared. At the will reading, Rachel and Sophie immediately asked me to do the right thing and share my inheritance with Sophie so that she wouldn't feel left out. No. They guilt-tripped me, saying that I was being selfish and that family should be treated equally. Extended family has jumped in too, saying that I should split what I got to keep the peace. Haha, no. Screw the peace, you greedy family members. I told them no. Everybody else was already taken care of, and my dad's wishes were clear. But now I'm being called greedy and heartless, and my family group chat won't stop blowing up. My mum says that I'm in the right, but I'm starting to feel guilty with all the pressure. Am I the a-hole for refusing to share what my dad specifically left for me? No, of course not. Greedy people. Oh my god. Yeah, like this comment says, not the a-hole. Your dad made his wishes known in his will. The ones calling you greedy and heartless are projecting like mad. They should take those fingers that they're pointing at you and point them at themselves. Oh, you should do the right thing and give me some of your money. Nah. And yeah, the audacity to call you greedy. They are so greedy and they're blind. They've got no idea. Being so greedy and so entitled, but they call you heartless and greedy. Oh no, you don't have a brain. Yeah, like this comment says, not the a-hole. Start blocking people. That's your inheritance. Yeah, don't give any of them a cent, OP. Didn't you even say that they got college funds out of it? He left Rachel, Sophie, and my half-siblings other assets and college funds. It's not even like they didn't get anything. I'd be staying away from them if I were you, OP. Oh, I'm greedy. Oh yeah, sure I am. It's not you being greedy, is it? Okay, that was so fun, but we're moving on to post number 7, and this one is back on Today I Messed Up. Today I messed up by going camping in the woods alone, and I'm still scared as I write this. Okay, I'm gonna read this as dramatically as I can. I decided it'd be a great idea to go camping in the woods alone. Just me, my tent, and a weekend of solitude to clear my head. No distractions, no noise, just nature. I thought it sounded peaceful. It was not. Everything was fine at first. I found a spot, I pitched my tent after struggling for way too long with the stupid good poles, and I even got a fire going, which I was way too proud of. By the time the sun started setting, I was feeling pretty good about myself. I had some snacks, a little folding chair, and a nice fire to keep me warm. Then night fell. Oh my god, I was not ready for how dark it gets in the woods. Like I thought my eyes would adjust, but no. Every sound, the wind, the leaves, some animal far off, sounded like it was coming straight for me. I kept telling myself, you're fine, this is only what nature sounds like. But I was holding my flashlight like a sword just in case. Around midnight, I started hearing rustling that sounded way too close to my tent. It wasn't just the wind. This was something moving. My heart was racing, but I convinced myself it was probably a raccoon or something. I stayed still, trying not to make any noise, but the sound just kept getting louder. And then I swear I heard what sounded like footsteps. Slow, deliberate footsteps circling my tent. At this point, I'm losing it. I'm holding my pocket knife in one hand, shaking so bad that I'm probably useless if anything even happens. I tried to turn off my flashlight so whoever or whatever it was wouldn't see me, but I was too scared to even reach for the button. The footsteps stopped and there was silence for a few minutes. I was about to convince myself I'd imagined it when something tapped on the side of my tent. I've never been so close to passing out in my life. I couldn't scream. I couldn't move. I just sat there clutching my knife, waiting to die. Eventually, I heard the footsteps fade into the distance. I forced myself to peek outside. I couldn't see anything, but I didn't feel safe staying there. So I packed up as fast as I could and I booked it back to my car. It was the longest walk of my life and I was 100% convinced that something was following me the whole time. I drove home in the middle of the night, shaking the entire way. I still don't know what or who was out there, but I'm never doing this again, ever. When I was reading that, I thought it was going to have like a funny twist or something, but no, that's downright terrifying. That's awful OP, and that was actually pretty terrifying to read. The top comment says, I'm a country boy and I've taken my city friends and family camping. People don't realize just how noisy the woods are at night. I can say pretty confidently that you had a deer or a raccoon poking around your tent. They are super curious animals, especially those a-hole raccoons. I was solo camping years ago in my 20s. I fell asleep in my hammock. I'd been snacking before bed while reading. I woke up to a fat-ass raccoon sitting on my chest eating the leftover Pop-Tart that I was too tired to put away. Those little will do anything for an easy meal. That is so funny. Like, yeah, it probably was a deer or a raccoon or something, but the paranoia and the fear, like it's pitch black, you can't see anything, but you can hear everything. Yeah, even though that was probably nothing, or like a deer or something, that is super scary, OP. I was expecting that one to be funny. The comment below that one says, oh man, I've been there. Once I woke up at around 3 in the morning, my dog's standing in the corner of the tent, terrified, fur standing up, tail between her legs, something walking around just outside, and then it started sniffing the tent. I poked my head out when it started moving away. It was a deer. I've had so many weird encounters with deer. They're curious creatures. Yeah, but even still, it would seem so scary inside the tent. Like, oh my god, there's a murderer outside. This comment says, I've got plenty of experience camping and you're absolutely right about the paranoia that sets in once it gets dark and the fire's out and you're in your tent. Your description of the footsteps and the tapping on your tent reminds me of when I set up next to a spot where deer would sleep at nighttime. When deer walk slowly, their footsteps sound pretty close to human, and they'll poke at tents with their foot or their snout just out of curiosity. If nothing startles them, deer will pace about slowly and deliberately before bedding down for the night. Like, oh, okay, I'm about to die. Oh wait, it's a deer. Okay, moving on once again, and the next one is post number 8, and we're back on the Am I the A-hole subreddit. Am I the a-hole for not allowing my boyfriend to sell my PlayStation 4 to buy a PlayStation 5 for us? Some context, I, 22 female, and my boyfriend, 27 male, are both gamers. My boyfriend and I have been dating for 4 years now. We live together and we're basically attached by the hip. I love him, but one problem. I was a gamer before I met him. He lost his console a few months prior to us getting together, so when we started dating, I allowed him to play on mine as much as he wanted to. At first, it wasn't an issue for me, but as time went on, he hogs the thing. He plays every single chance that he gets every day. It's not that he's neglecting his responsibilities. We clean and cook together and we both work full time, but when we're done, he hops onto my PS4 and goes ham. Whenever I ask if I can play, there's always this attitude. So ungrateful. He sits arms folded. I can see him constantly shaking his head in my peripherals, huffing the whole time. This completely ruins my entire mood every time. So I give the controller back to him and suddenly he's super happy again. Nothing wrong. OP, he needs to buy his own console ASAP. He says the ones I play are boring to watch, mainly Dragon's Dogma, which I have played for years now and it's my comfort game, because he doesn't understand the game or storyline. Even when I've tried explaining it to him, he only likes FPS and hunting games, which I've played on occasion because he asked me to play with him, but it's really not my cup of tea. He wants to buy a PlayStation 5, which I was excited about since I thought he finally saved enough for it and I'd get to play on my console again without having to ask him or feel guilty. But then he got confused and said that he wants to sell mine to have enough to buy the new one. The audacity. It's not yours to sell. You are so ungrateful, dude. Gaming is also a hobby that I love and have done for years before I'd even met him. So I don't want to take that away from him. We can't afford a second console without selling the first one, but in the last 4 years, I barely get to play on a console that I own. And I think it's only going to get worse once he gets the new one, since he will be contributing the most money towards it. Yeah, it's not his to sell. Oh, this one is so annoying. And the audacity to sit there and get all uptight when you're trying to play a game. Like, dude, what are you doing? I had a mental breakdown about this and I went non-verbal for a while. He can't understand why I'm being so emotional about it. When I tried to tell him it's because it won't belong to me, so I think he'll allow me to play on it even less, he got pissed. So I'm either a-hole for not wanting to allow him to sell my PlayStation 4 to buy a PlayStation 5 for us. No, you're not the a-hole, OP. What you need to do is you need to take your PlayStation 4 off this guy, unplug it, take it away, put it somewhere, don't let him touch it, tell him to go buy his own used PlayStation 4 or something, and he can play that one whenever the hell he wants to. But stop letting him use yours. You have to stop letting him use your PlayStation 4, OP. Yeah, like this comment says, I'm sorry to say this to you, but you're a complete a-hole to yourself. It's your PlayStation 4 and it's yours to play whenever you feel like it. It's very nice of you to share it with your boyfriend, but you've let him not only take full control of your toy, but also over your emotions. What the hell is this feeling guilty if Mr. Grumpy doesn't get what he wants? Please set your boundaries straight ASAP and guard them rigorously to give him a chance of leaving his 7-year-old self behind and become an adult. He should behave like he's 27 if he's 27. Yeah, OP, unplug the PlayStation 4, take it away from him, don't let him anywhere near it, and tell him to go buy his own. This guy is being a complete a-hole, and you need to put your foot down here, OP. Yeah, like this comment says, not the a-hole. I'd ban him from the PlayStation 4 until he learns some manners and shows at least a little bit of gratitude. And Dragon's Dogma's awesome. Not just the story, but also the world and the possibilities and the different styles of how to play, unless you're grinding for a Dragon Forge all day. I've got no clue how he thinks that's a boring game to watch over a first-person shooter. Yeah, OP, your boyfriend is acting like a child, and I feel like you need to treat him like a child. Confiscate the PlayStation. Don't let him touch it. You are so underreacting, OP. Stop putting up with this crap. This one's so annoying. The audacity of this guy. Yeah, like this comment says, not the a-hole, but this greedy git is not the one. How did he lose his console? Why hasn't he bought a new one? Why the hell would he have the audacity to hog your console? How the hell does selling your console that he hogs anyway to buy a new shared console do anything but give him an upgrade? Take your console and dump him. I'm getting hobosexual here. What does he bring to the table? Yeah, he's so unbelievably self-centered. And yeah, to be honest, I feel like you're underreacting, OP. You need to take your PlayStation away from him. Okay, moving on. The next one is post number 9. Wow, we're already at post number 9. This one's also on Am I the A-hole? Am I the a-hole for disinviting my sister-in-law to Christmas and refusing to invite her back and causing unnecessary drama? I am so ready for this. I'm 26 female. My sister-in-law Sally is my boyfriend of 3 years, Alex's sister. Alex and I recently moved in together, so we thought it'd be good to host Christmas there as a housewarming. All those invited were Alex's parents, Sally, my parents, my brother's wife, and my 2 nieces. Sally's best friend Mary was also going to come by for a while as her family lives quite far away, and I have met and hung out with Mary a few times. Anyway, Sally and I had a stupid argument. We both have tattoos and piercings. I also have stretched ears and I no longer wear them. I like a lot of metal and rock music, but no longer dress as gothic or dark as I used to. Sally is quite gothic and has numerous facial and ear piercings. I used to have the same, but I took them all out a couple of years ago. But I recently put my nose ring back in. I have a single piercing, but I put a ring in that is a double ring, but only on one piercing, if that makes sense. I just like the look of it, and I thought it suited me. Sally, on the other hand, has 2 proper nose piercings, both rings in one nostril. When I met up with her, she noticed my piercing and she asked if I got a new one, and I said no. She then got really weird and quite mean by stating, and I quote, "Why the f*** are you wearing a fake double nose ring, being a poser?" What? I actually, she emphasized the word, went and got it done properly. She said some other comments saying that it really didn't suit me and I'd be better going back to being a pretend happy person. Oh, they're so awful. It actually really hurt my feelings. Yeah, of course it did. And I don't know where it came from. It was like she was gatekeeping a certain way of looking. Yeah, that is so lame. She's made some jokes before about me dressing in color rather than all black and still liking metal, and said before that I didn't fit into the metal group. The last comment comment also felt like a dig at my mental health. Putting my nose piercing back in actually boosted my self-esteem, as I have struggled to accept how I look due to severe depression. When I went back home, I told Alex what happened, and he called Sally, and she tried to play the whole thing off as a joke and said that it's not her fault that I'm too weak to handle sarcasm. Oh God, she's the worst. She then kept on laughing about it and didn't even attempt to apologize. I've decided I no longer want Sally over for Christmas. Yeah, don't let her over ever. If all she wants to do is humiliate me, and Alex agrees. He texted saying that she's no longer welcome if she's going to be like that, and went through the roof. She threw a colossal temper tantrum. Yeah, that sounds about right. Saying that we're targeting and excluding her, yet she hasn't once offered an apology. You're targeting and excluding her. Yeah, because she's being awful. Another person not taking responsibility for their actions. I told my in-laws about it, and they seem to think that I should be the bigger person and say I probably took the comments the wrong way. I didn't. They say that I'm causing unnecessary drama. No, you're not. And that Christmas is for family. You're not causing any drama here, OP. You're not letting this person who's being an a-hole come over anymore, and that's completely understandable. My family are on my side saying, what's the point of inviting somebody over who can cruelly mock my appearance and then try to pass it off as a joke? Yeah. My family also mentioned a good point that my in-laws didn't. Sally made a cruel comment about my mental health. Edit to add, I've only really been better with my depression these past few months, but I am quite sensitive sometimes, so maybe I am overreacting. Oh no, OP, you're not overreacting at all. If you go into somebody else's house and you be awful to them, what do you expect? Yeah, like this comment says, not the a-hole. If Sally wants to be mean, she can do it elsewhere. Your home should be a safe space. And if anybody's the poser here, it's her for acting like there's only one way to be goth or alternative. Yeah, how cringe. Oh, you're a poser. Oh God. Yeah, and you're immature. Grow up. No, you're not the a-hole, OP. Don't let Sally back ever. Sally needs to grow up. Yeah, like this comment says, you're targeting and excluding me. Yeah, good. You're paying attention. That's good. You've been targeted for exclusion because you've recently been an a-hole to one of the two people hosting the party, and now you refuse to apologize. Not the a-hole. Yeah, the gall to even say that. Oh, you're targeting and excluding me? Yeah, because you were awful. What do you not understand about this, Sally? Nah, don't let her back ever, OP. Do you need somebody around like this? Absolutely not. Oh no, you're not going to be in my house and making fun of me and being cruel. Oh, wait a second, that's a good thing. Yeah, you can stay away, Sally. No, I feel like this one's so simple. If you go to somebody's house and you treat them like crap, you should expect that you're not going to be allowed to come over. You didn't do anything, OP. You didn't overreact. You weren't unreasonable at all. You handled this super well. Yeah, that was so infuriating. Okay, moving on. Post number 10. This one is on Today I Messed Up. Also, I think I am going to read 11 stories today. 10 doesn't feel like enough. Today I messed up by pretending to know the girl who thought that she knew me. I, 29 male, was waiting for my order in the local coffee shop. Also in the store waiting for orders was a girl who looked around my age and a guy who seemed a bit older, 35 to 45. I noticed the guy was talking the girl's ear off and she didn't seem very interested in the conversation. Next thing I noticed, she's approaching me saying, Brian? My name isn't Brian. But before I could correct her, I remembered reading something online that said, if a girl ever pretends to know you, play along because she might be in trouble. So I played along and I started having a friendly chat with her as if I knew her. Well, not long into the conversation, she looks at me and goes, wait, you're not Brian? To which I respond, I know, I thought you were doing a thing. Then a bit louder and annoyed, she says, why would you pretend to be someone I know? Now the guy she was with before comes over and asked if everything was all right. Knowing that I'd f***ed up, I just told them honestly what I was doing. Turns out he was her boyfriend and he was talking about fantasy baseball. That's why she was so disinterested. She found it funny and thanked me even though I read the situation wrong. He was kind of offended but understood. I've never been more embarrassed. Oh, OP, that's so awesome. Good on you for doing what you did, OP. That's so awesome. You were looking out for a stranger. Turns out that you didn't need to, but I'm so happy that you did, OP. Yeah, like this comment says, it might be embarrassing, but I think you did the right thing. You didn't know what the situation was, and you were just trying to help. Yeah, that's actually so wholesome. Yeah, like this one says, please do this again next time a girl approaches you like that, Brian. She might really be in trouble. No f*** up here. Yeah, you are basically Brian from now on, OP. Well, yeah, I guess I'm Brian. Okay, the last one for today, post number 11. This one's going to be a fun one, and it's back on Am I the A-hole? Am I the A-hole for breaking up with my girlfriend because of a caught cheating prank? Oh, okay. I, 26 male, broke up with my girlfriend, 25 female, of 2 years because of something that happened recently. And now my friends are saying that I massively overreacted. So a few days ago, my girlfriend and a close mutual friend decided to play a prank on me. The prank was that they filmed a scenario where I caught them in bed together, pretending they were hooking up. They set up a hidden camera in the bedroom, and when I walked in, I saw him in just boxers and my girlfriend in a bra and panties straddling him, acting like they were mid-hookup. Who finds this sort of thing funny? Yuck. Of course you broke up with them, and you should have. To make it more realistic, they even made some noises and tried to act like it was happening for real. This can't be real, can it? I was shocked and furious, and I immediately confronted them as I thought it was real at first, like an actual betrayal. Yeah, and of course you thought it was real. Why would it not be real? This is not a funny prank. And then I walked out of the room and started leaving the house. When they followed me screaming it was just a prank and then showed me the video that they'd been recording. To be honest, I felt completely betrayed, not just by the idea of the prank, but also because of how they'd gotten undressed to film it. I know it's meant to be funny to some people, but for me, it felt disrespectful and I was hurt. Yeah, of course, OP. The whole thing felt like a violation of trust, even though I know they weren't actually cheating. Yeah, nothing like a prank that damages your relationship or completely ends it. How stupid of your partner, OP. I told her I couldn't be in a relationship with somebody who would do something like that, and I ended things right there. Yeah, good, OP. She's devastated and her friends are telling me that I overreacted. They think it was just a harmless prank. No, it wasn't. That was never a harmless prank, and I should have taken it better. Nah. But I can't shake the feeling that it crossed a line for me, especially with how intimate and uncomfortable it felt to see them in that situation, even if it wasn't real. Now I'm left wondering if I made the right decision. I'm starting to doubt myself because everybody else seems to think I blew it out of proportion. That is so unbelievably gross. And even if you did stay together, like, oh, you remember that time that you pretended to cheat on me as a prank? Are you sick in the head? That's not funny. Oh yay, trust issues. Thank you. Yeah, this comment, you made the right decision. Other people don't get to decide what sort of prank goes past your line for pranks. If your ex-girlfriend really was devastated, maybe she'll learn that trying to pull an elaborate prank can backfire on her. And then maybe she won't do it to other people in the future. Not the a-hole. Yeah, how silly can you be? Like, that's an obviously awful idea. And also, it's not funny. Who the hell would ever find that funny? Oh, haha, that's so hilarious. So funny how you acted like you were cheating on me. Ha ha ha. Because yeah, there's nothing funnier than cheating. Gross. Yeah, like this comment says, cheating pranks always do permanent damage to a relationship. Prank or not, straddling somebody in underwear is grounds for breakup, not the a-hole. Yeah, like this says, let's prank my boyfriend by staging the most traumatic and deep betrayal of a relationship that's possible. It's gonna be hilarious. Yeah, no. Feel no remorse in cutting both of them loose from your life, not the a-hole. Also, I mean, maybe I'm being a conspiracy theorist, but some people like to film themselves banging. It could be that you caught them at the start of the act, and they're just quick thinkers. As much as it's just a prank can be considered quick thinking. Either way, you can start 2025 with some trash removed. That's so unbelievably gross. And yeah, like that comment said, maybe it's not a prank. You would never even know, OP. Like, by the sounds of it, it's not what happened, but they literally could have been cheating and just playing it off like it's just a prank. You don't know, OP. Like, it doesn't matter anyway because she crossed so many lines here. And yeah, well, if you think that cheating on somebody is a funny prank, I feel like you deserve to be dumped. Like, it doesn't get any more disrespectful. And that's enough for today. That was such a roller coaster ride of an episode. I hope you guys had a fun time today. I've got a cute wholesome meme to show you before you go. I asked my next door neighbor to take my bin out as I wouldn't be home. He definitely went above and beyond. That's so cute. And also that's OP and his ex-girlfriend because she was trash. That is really cute and wholesome though. Thank you for watching, guys. I hope you had a wonderful time today. Another fun episode. Subscribe if you want to, by the way. And the comment of the day goes to Ash. Cat transitions between stories is a genius idea. It resets me to my factory settings every time. I'd literally go, what a terrible situation. I feel so bad for OP being surrounded by all the terrible people. Oh my god, it's Jin. Look at this baby and his beautiful fluffy coat. Such cute little fangs. He was playing with his toy. What was I on about? That is so funny, and I feel like that's the point. Like a little palate cleanser or something between the different stories. Thank you for that comment, and I'm so happy that you enjoy the cat transitions, and I'm definitely going to keep doing them. I love them too. And thank you for the support, everybody. It means so much to me. And thank you for being so supportive of me posting every second day instead of every day. I already feel so much more relaxed, and I do genuinely feel like I can make the best videos that I possibly can. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do, and I'll see you in the next episode. Make sure you look after yourself and make sure you have a beautiful, amazing rest of your day, and I'll see you next time. Bye!